So here we go. So this is Assalamu alaikum, good afternoon. I'm sitting here with Dr. Hussein Solomon, and we will be having a chat about what he's been doing recently. He's been doing something very exciting. So congratulations, Dr. Solomon, on the achievement of your PhD. So that's quite a milestone. We'll be talking about general things today, quite a few exciting things. So I'm going to ask you to talk about the HPO. Tell us about that. What does that even mean? We're going to talk about sustainability in small organizations. Again, buzzwords, but I want you to unpack what that means for an academic like yourself who's been knee-deep in entrepreneurship for the last decade, 2 decades?
A bit more, but okay, fine.
Okay, a bit more. But yes, a fascinating chat. So let's get right into it. Dr. Hussein Solomon.
Okay, shukran for you, Mayra, for the opportunity. Of course, it's a pleasure for me to be here, and also to, we like to disseminate the kind of things that we believe would add value to things outside there, especially in the small business community. It is important that we develop the small business community, because the records show that the employment opportunities in small businesses are rather great. And I think that is one of the targets and objectives for economic development that we want to do. However, small business can also be utilized for many other things. With other things that can be in line, like supply chains towards big business. Also, you can use a small business as a sample to assess whether it's going to go or not. And from there, you can grow and develop, large business. But as you've mentioned also, the issue about HPO, high performance organization. That is a very interesting topic, simply because you get high performance organizations and then you get high performing organizations. And the primary difference between the two, which is just what I'm going to do now, is that high performance organizations, it's inherent in the DNA of the organization to be high performing all the time. Whereas high performing organizations can decide and choose when and when not to actually be a high performing thing. And there are 5 factors in there. Dr. Andre Duval has been a pioneer in driving the HPO framework, and there is a particular framework, and part of our task, it has primarily been focused on large businesses before, government organizations and so on, and also primarily in the more sort of stable environments, if I can say that. We are trying to understand how can we transfer that and make sure small businesses can also be high performance organizations. I think I'll leave it at that for now.
Okay, fascinating. Again, buzzwords, but I think this is the first of a few conversations that we'll be having with Hussein. My name is Gamieldien-Mohamed, and I work alongside my business partner, Gamieldien-Mohamed, and what we want to do is we want to chat to Hussein about exactly what it is that academia can contribute to the organizational development of small businesses. What is it that makes small businesses tick? What is it that can make them better? And what are those new elements, Hussein, that have come up in your research, in your PhD, that can improve how entrepreneurial organizations, which again apparently is something of a misnomer, and we will talk about that. What is it? What is an entrepreneur? What is a small business? And what is an organization? Terms which we use interchangeably, but apparently are not really interchangeable. So we need to look at that. Again, these conversations are meant to be informative. So please jump in at any time, make comments, post them below. We will be working with other small businesses, and we'll be looking at it almost as a way to unpick challenges that small businesses face. So what we will do is we'll be choosing a few small businesses and asking them to tell us about the challenges that they face. And Dr. Solomon will be looking at how they can perhaps look at those challenges in a way that will open up more opportunities. Because again, every challenge comes with opportunities. And sometimes the challenge might be so great that you might need to change track completely. But again, Dr. Solomon says there are many solutions to a problem. You could look at supply chain, you could look at finance, you could look at organizational development, you can look at staffing, human resources. So there are a myriad of challenges that small businesses face. But Hussein, again, maybe over to you about the terminology.
Yeah, I think we have to sometimes be a little bit very careful with these terminologies. Maybe academics have this thing about being very specific about definition, but I think sometimes that is also where we sometimes go off the track. When we talk about entrepreneurialism, we're kind of referring to the person and their makeup. And I don't really want to go into mention this, but it is more a sort of psychological approach in terms of what your nature is. Are you able to withstand, things when things go wrong? What is your risk appetite and those kinds of stuff? And that just normally falls under the entrepreneurial nature of the person. Whereas when we talk about entrepreneurship per se, that is actually a process. You got an idea, evaluate it, get the resources, put the thing in practice, move on forward, and somewhere along the line you've got to bring in the business management skills in order to get the entrepreneurship process to be going. So in order to get entrepreneurship processes going, you need a reasonably solid kind of entrepreneurial mindset going. And the literature is out there that the more you cultivate the entrepreneurial mindset, the higher is the probability of getting higher order and higher success rates within your small business. Part of our research we've done some time ago is we tried to have a training intervention in terms of personal initiative. And we have found that when we enhance personal initiative, we had two groups. We gave them the personal initiative training, and the other group that we refer to that as a control group. And there was a significant difference between the two after the intervention, which does suggest that when we work on personal initiative, the probability of success is enhanced. So when we try to understand what must be done to small businesses, I think we need to sit back and ask ourselves what makes a successful business. And then we got to look back and say, okay, so what do we have here? And understand the gap, and then work on those things that will be able to bridge the gap from where the business is to what would be a successful business.
Fantastic. I think going forward, there's going to be a lot that we can talk about. We can talk about the life cycle of businesses, and then the character of an entrepreneur. I think South Africans, we always talk about resilience and about how you need to pick yourself up off the ground after you've fallen down. But I think there's a formula to it as well. So let's not just think that it is something which you can't learn. So Dr. Solomon, thank you very much for today. There's a lot that we can look forward to listening to you about, and we will definitely be coming back to you with more about entrepreneurship. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure, and I look forward to the series and whatever assistance and support and help we can offer to people out there. They are welcome also to talk to us about their problems. And one of the things that is important, and maybe I can leave with this one as a parting shot. A business owner is a problem solver. And I've been to Dubai to understand what they do within their business incubation. And there's one question they ask: what problem do you solve with your business? And if you don't have an answer, then they say, thank you very much, let's talk to the next person.
And on that note, we will say bye till next time.
Okay. Cheerio.